Hi, welcome or welcome back. This is the New Year in Review coming to you with a bookish chat. I was just sitting here just going over my house library project, which I plan on taking on soon. And you know, the organization of books and where you want them in your house is a big deal because just like going to the library, which that was like one of my favorite places to go. Um, Going to a library, their books are sectioned off in certain places, and there are certain aisles you need to go to for certain type of books. So I'm just sitting down, trying to map out some space of where things are gonna go, and then it came to me like, okay, Sharifa, what are some of the experiences you want to have next year um, on your channel as you know, how can I say, talk about books and subjects that you like? I normally, at this junction in my life, I love reading memoirs and nonfiction topics, particularly um, in the civil rights era. So that's where my reading mind has been for a little while now. But I mean, I do embrace other books and other topics. Like I love reading about mysteries. I love a good mystery. Um, I've recently just gotten back into reading my, I guess, my love stories from various BIPOC authors. Next year, because I'm recording this right now at the end of 2025, next year I do plan on embracing, more of a how can I say, a mixture of various authors and type of reads. So I'm looking forward to that. Not that I don't do it now, but I want to be more intentional about it. So what I did was I wrote a list as I was sitting here setting up my planners. Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't have not one planner set up for next year. That's how much I've been holding it off. I'm still working out of my planner for this year, and it's really not a setup. I mean, the planner is set up itself, so I really don't have anything to set up, and my trackers and everything, it works itself out. The calendars, so I'm pretty much going to use it how I use it now. So let me get off of this. The planner. I have a separate video where I'm talking about my planner lineup. So yeah, that'll be posted. I don't know when, probably sometime in January, because this is like the end of December, and I think that even after I post this video, which would be hopefully a simple post, I think I'm pretty much satisfied with what I have. In 2026, next year, all of my planning and creative journaling content will be on my Nubian Journals channel. So I will no longer be posting it on the Nubian Review. On this channel, I just want to stick to all bookish content, whether it's, visiting a historical place that I read about in a book. It has to be bookish or bookish related. So yeah, that's the change that's going to be coming to this channel. Also, in 2026, I will be doing more community reads. Currently, I'm doing Bearing the Cross, which is the the story of Martin Luther King and his rise to leadership prominence. And it just talks about the origins, like the beginning of the Montgomery bus boycott, which they do have another book that really goes into the other players of the Montgomery bus boycott, but there are plenty of books on that. But I'm reading Bearing the Cross. And then the second book I would love to do a community read on, which I feel, I don't know, I'm feeling this need to have these discussions. It's two books. One is The Sum of Us, and then the other one is um, Their Accomplices Wore Robes. So I think that would be the introduction to my Patreon channel, to have that particular discussion, because that is a very that is a, how can I say, it can be a triggering subject. I don't think a lot of people are ready to get into. Mm. So, but what I want to get into is sharing my 2026 of 2026 bookish experiences I would like to have. So let me go through this list, and this is like an organic list. These are just things that I was thinking about as I am winding down the year and trying to. I don't want to reinvent myself. I like what I like. I mean, I don't do. Um, I don't. How can I say? I'm not trying to be anybody else. I have the people I have on that subscribe to my channel because they want to see more content from me, whether it's one person or 1,000 people. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to stick to what I like doing, and if you like the content that I am sharing, then you will come along on this journey. So let me get into this list, which I thought it was pretty organic. So bear with me. So the first thing I said, I want to do less doom strolling on the internet, particularly on various social media platforms. I normally don't go to other platforms, but my, how can I say, I have one account that, that links videos to my other platforms. I want to do less doom strolling. Here's the thing. I am focusing on being more intentional, and that is my word of the year for 2026, is being intentional, being where my focus needs to be at that moment, and not being distracted by other things. So less social media time, more reading time for me. So I would do that by just literally turn off the TV like I did now. Not that I had a problem with it, but I need to be a little bit more intentional about it. The next thing I have on here, my experience, to read more books by BIPOC authors, and that is Black, Indigenous, people of color books. And I already do, but I want to put forth an effort to seek out those stories or those authors that write those great books as well. The third thing I have on here is to start posting more of my reviews that I write, not on Goodreads, because I'm not really into Goodreads like I used to be. I was on Goodreads like, I would say about 100 years ago. Mm. And although Goodreads, it is a good book community, um, the fact that there are just too many engines, they're part of Amazon now, and I like the fact that they're doing author interviews and stuff like that, but it tends to be a little bit too invasive for me. Like, I just want to track my reading. I just want to read great reviews. So I do go to what they call Storygraph. And so Storygraph is a little subtle, outside the statistics, which I think are very cool, because it leads me to realizing that I need to read more about BIPOC authors. Other than that, I love Storygraph. Like, they have challenges that you can engage in, and the sense of community there is, I can look at other people's reviews and don't have to worry about an ad sign jumping up like you would on Goodreads. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, that's just me. So yeah, I want to post more of my personal reviews on my Substack and my own personal vlog, which is the New Review. So I'll be reposting more of my reviews there. instead of other places. Also, I would like to host more bookish chats. So currently, right now, I am reading, like I said, Bearing the Cross, and every now and then I would jump on and I would do a live, which at the time while I'm recording this video, I will be doing a live the first week of January to go over chapters 1 through 10. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can always look under the, what is it? It's called Bearing the Cross. You'll find all the videos from there. Even the lives that I do, all of them will be there under that heading. And so the goal of this is to to read about historians that we know about, but we don't know the ins and out of their struggle. Now, Bearing the Cross, it definitely gets into King's early beginnings and his thought process of why he decided um, to take on such a monumental task as leading people, to justice and equality, because we know that in the past and even currently, those who speak out against injustice are easily targeted. But yeah, Bearing the Cross, that is a second read. Well, no, yes, a second read for me, and no, it's a third read. I read it when I first got it, then I read it a few years ago, and now I'm reading it now. The book is like almost 40 years old, so yeah, it's a good read. I encourage you to join. So let me get on with this list because I'm rambling now. The next one is do a book buddy read. I have not done that yet. I think I've done one. I did do one right before COVID with a YouTuber, and I don't even think she's on YouTube anymore. But I did do a book read with one person. So looking forward to doing a buddy book read at some point this year. I'm not really picky about the books, but I will say this: I don't want to do a fantasy. If anybody's interested, I don't want to do a fantasy book buddy read. I would do anything else besides a fantasy or a romantasy. I'm just saying. Although those are great genres in their own, I can't see myself doing a book buddy read on that one. Oh, another thing is I want to join a local book club. So there is a book club that I do participate online, but I want to do more community. I want to be in community. I did start that like sometime earlier this year, but then the conversations fell off. So, thinking about just going to one of my local libraries and putting up a sign and either starting a local book club or finding one and joining their book club. So, yeah, that is a goal. That is a bookish experience I would like to have in 2026, being in more physical community. Also, I would like to create more videos sharing my creative book journal spreads. Now, before it became popular, and I didn't even know it was a thing, I've been doing creative journal book spreads for like over 20 years. And I'm aging myself now. But yeah, it's true. I would take bits and pieces of the photographs of the characters that I'm reading about, or I would create, like character cast, or just do a page for the book that I read, and I would do it in a simple notebook. This is before I started putting everything in these leather journals, but I would get like a basic notebook, you guys, and just put it all down there. So, and it helped me. It definitely helped me memorize a lot of the books that I read. And I think that's another reason why I've been so attuned to do more rereads now, because for, I would say, since audiobooks have become so convenient, and I remember there was a time that I would drive like 6 hours to come and visit my family. I would listen to audiobooks all the way there, all the way back. My two sons, they will have their thing going on, and we would just enjoy a long car ride, and I would get through a slew of books, you guys. But I am more like wanting to get into the physical text now. So I would look at a book and say, oh, yeah, 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 I read it. But it was an audio book. And I can remember sparks, like parts of it. But it's, yeah. So I want to get into more reading more physical text. Another thing, so yeah, with the book journal spreads, like I said, I've been doing that for a long time. And so I kind of got away from it because I started watching everybody else doing their book journal spreads. But I do have a creative book journal, and I do write about books that I read about. I have a slew of them, you guys. Matter of fact, I have a video on the book, my how I keep up with my book journals, but also I have my journal where I do like power words, like words that I'm thinking about. So I put in like in big letters, and then I will write about how the word make me feel, not just a definition, right? When I say dream, how does dream make me feel? I want to do a little bit more creative book journaling. So that is the goal. And if you're interested in content like this, that will be on my Nubian Journals channel, where I'll be setting up more pages in this book. So getting back to this list, I want to do more. Oh, this is a big one, you guys. I want to set up a free book, a free library in my city, somewhere where they are less likely to have books. I want to probably partner up with a school or a. So before I was rudely interrupted by my camera shutting off, I was on building a free library somewhere in my neighborhood or close by where I can donate regularly. So let me get into this list because I tend to ramble on, but I don't want that to be this video. I just want to share the bookish experiences I would like to have for 2026. So let's get back to the list. So the next one is participate in a date with a book. I've done it before in the past through my local library, and we had to scan the book out during checkout, but it was nice. It was more themed, like they would do it around Valentine's Day. I know a couple of independent bookstores that host a book with a date, so I may participate in that as opposed to going to my local library because that will be supporting the small bookstores, and then probably experiencing a book that I would never have chosen on my own. Next one is support more independent authors and publishers. On Substack, there are a lot of independent authors who post their writings there, and they have books that they're selling. So a lot of interesting articles, a lot of interesting stories. So that is a goal for 2026, to engage more in seeking new authors and new talents that I want to know more about. Another one is find a senior center in my city that I want to donate books to on a regular basis. One thing I have experienced in terms of donating to senior centers, they seem to be the places that people don't seek out to give more of their time and donate. So yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I want to do. And you guys, I have this list written out, so we're just going to go through the list. These are things that were like initially, that I really wanted to do, but I'm going to be more mindful and intentional about doing it this year. Another one I wanted to do, which I haven't done in a long time, is just sit down and read in a park, read in the fresh air. And I got away from that, and I would like to get back to it. Another one is read in a cafe. I have not done that at all this year, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't done it at all. And I would like to get back to that. Just sitting down with a cup of coffee and read. Um, Another thing I would like to do is a bookish outing out of town. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when I would drive, like my long distance drives, and you get off, and, I like to find like little thrift stores and stuff like that and see what books they have available. But just making an intentional bookish weekend where I just get out of town and go to multiple, different type of bookstores and check out, check some books out. Another one I would like to do, and I know this right here would not be, this will be available to people who are on my Patreon, is to put together bookish kits for them to actually download and print out. And actually, I'm working on that now, so I wanted to make that available for one of my tiers on my Patreon, which I have not really done the work and being more visible over there. But if you create the content, the people will come, and that is one of the things that I would like to do for the bookish community. Attend a book release. I used to always love going to author book panels, where they're talking about their books, and I've gotten away from that, like so far away that I think social media, like seeing everything on the internet, has really taken away that personable experience. So just being out there, with the community and attend more author events. Read a book from a genre that I really don't read regularly. Now, earlier I was talking about romantasy. That's one of them. But yeah, that's one of them. But that's not the book that I may choose. But I just want to get into, reading a couple of books, or a book or two, or a book from a genre that I normally wouldn't read. Engage in a few of bookish community challenges. I am currently taking the challenge on the channel of This Story Ain't Over. She has a brain rot challenge. And it just dawned on me, like, okay, your brain will rot if you're just doom strolling and watching TV all the time. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do plan on taking that challenge for 2026 because I want to balance my reading out, because I am a heavy nonfiction reader now in these days. But I do want to balance it out with some nonfiction and some fiction together. So if you're interested in knowing my book list, check my 26 of 2026, and I'll share with you you'll see what I'll be reading this year. Let me see. Attend a library book discussion. Yes, I live in a city where there's always author discussions for free at my public library, and I haven't been to one, I would say, pre-COVID, and so I'm really looking into doing that again. Visit a place I've read in a book, and that'll be interesting because I live in a city where it is rich in story and culture, and so that would be an easy one for me. I just need to be mindful of doing it. I can throw out some titles right now and locations, not too far away from me, where I can have that experience. Gift the book to one of my subscribers, and that's part of the bookish community. I would just like to go to someone's bookish content and see, like, I think some people, they have like the Amazon gifting thing, and just anonymously, or just um get a book for not one of my subscribers. If they were one of my subscribers, it would be easier, but I can always go to somebody else's page and see if they have like maybe a Amazon storefront, or the storefronts that they support, and surprise them and get them a book. So yeah, I would like to do that. Make time to create spreads in my book journal. Yes. And this goes back to the other one with the creative journals. I used to do creative journals when it wasn't even popular. And like I said, I kind of got away from it. And I want to get back to that because I enjoy it. Set up a book journal for someone in the book community. Now, this is something that I've been seeing on YouTube, and I think that, oh wow, I mean, like just doing that is infectious, right? People setting up planners for other planning for other planners, and people setting up book journals for reading journals for people who who don't have the time or the resources or the creativity or feel like they lack creativity to do a book journal. So I would like to do that for someone. So that will probably be a challenge that I would take on this year and gift it, I guess, either at the end of 2026. So stay tuned for that. And then I have host 2 community reads. Like I said, currently right now I'm reading Bearing the Cross, and that is a 1-year community read. And I want to select another book, possibly a fiction book, but more or less on more literature than fan fiction. And then last but not least, read and relax all day at the beach. And I haven't had that moment, you guys, for such a long time. So where I live, we call our lakefronts beaches because that's what it exactly is. It's the lakefront. But have not had the time to just sit down one day and just relax and read and bask in the sun. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes the sun recently has been a little bit too hot for me to, just sit there and enjoy it. So we'll see how they go. But I do want to make a day of it. So more than likely, it will probably be some nice spring day or early summer day when I do that. But just stay tuned and you will see how that go. But do you have any experiences, book experiences that you want to engage in 2026? If you do, leave that below and let just keep the conversation going. Until next time, you guys. Bye bye, and have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Bye bye.